Thank you for watching today's video. Please watch all the way to the very end for a brand new sponsorship and promotion that we are running. God bless you guys. We'll see you soon.
T.B. Joshua was one of Africa's most notorious false teachers. He was really a prosperity gospel, word of faith kind of guy. Very dangerous. The BBC has done a 2-year investigation into his ministry after he died and found some horrible things. We'll show you what they found today. Hey guys, thank you for watching today's video. If you're new, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Of course, our Third Adam series is available on YouTube. Check that out. It's right here on our front page. You don't want to miss it. This is the article from BBC.com. T.B. Joshua, mega church leader. Oh boy. I won't say that word, but tortured worshipers, BBC's finds. What a wild article. Now, if you're not familiar with him, we've done some videos on him, and one of Africa's most notoriously bad false teachers, was a mystic and into all kinds of terrible stuff. Evidence of widespread abuse and torture by the founder of one of the world's biggest Christian evangelical churches has been uncovered by the BBC. Dozens of ex-synagogue Church of All Nations members, 5 British, allege atrocities. Rape and forced abortion by Nigeria's late T.B. Joshua. The allegations of abuse in a secretive Lagos compound span almost 20 years. And this article is just brutal that they've published here. T.B. Joshua, who died in 2021, was a charismatic and hugely successful preacher and televangelist who had an immense global following. Dozens of eyewitness accounts of physical violence carried about by Joshua. It also says women who said they were assaulted, said all kinds of people, yikes. Multiple first-hand accounts detailing how Joshua faked his miracle healings, which were broadcast to millions of people around the world. One of the victims, British woman called Ray, was 21 years old when she abandoned her degree at Brighton University in 2002 and was recruited into the church. She spent the next 12 years as one of Joshua's so-called disciples inside his maze-like concrete compound in Lagos. A shocking journey into a maze of manipulation and terrifying abuse perpetrated by one of the most powerful religious figures in the 21st century. Quote, "We all thought we were in heaven, but we were in hell. And in hell, terrible things happen." Yikes. She was put in solitary confinement. She was assaulted. She said this is as bad as you can imagine. So there's a lot of this article that's just graphic. I don't want to read it here. But let's just say here, Ray and multiple other interviewees compared their experiences to being in a cult. Jessica Kamu from Namibia says her ordeal lasted more than 5 years. She says she was 17 when Joshua first did that, and those were backdoor medical treatments that we were going through. It could have killed us. And just tons of stuff here. It really is a mess, and you guys go check this out. 4 of the British citizens who spoke to the BBC say they reported the abuse to the UK authorities after escaping the church. They say no further action was taken. Video evidence is also shown as well. This paragraph says, in addition, a British man and his wife emailed eyewitness accounts of their ordeal and video evidence, including recordings being held at gunpoint by men describing themselves as police who are also members of SCOAN, that's the name of the church, to the British High Commission in Nigeria in March 2010 after fleeing the church. In his email, the man said his wife had been repeatedly all that by Joshua. He warned the commission that other British nationals were still inside the compound facing atrocities. So this whole thing, I just skimmed this article for you. This whole compound and the ministry that he had, there are some seriously heavy allegations coming out of all that. People find the courage to speak out against this stuff sometimes down the road. Sometimes it takes them a long time to feel the courage to come out. My advice to anybody who has ever been in a position like this is to scream loud and scream immediately. Let everybody know. There's so much to this. There's so much I could say here. I'm just trying to be discreet with folks. But listen, don't wait. Don't wait. Talk. Say it. Find the courage to say something, and let the truth be known about these people. Because lots of times there is this bias of trust towards preachers, And wicked men put on the facade of a pastor, and they know that trust exists, and they abuse it, and they'll say things to you like, well, if you tell anybody that this happened, you're going to hurt this whole ministry, and look at all these good things that are happening. And it's one of the most sick, demented manipulation tactics I think that probably exist in all areas of life. And guys, this type of stuff needs to be spoken about more, because I know there's a bunch of it out there, and I commend anybody any victim who finds the courage to say something. When it comes to TB Joshua, I want you to know, when religious man is not converted, when people who meet the criteria of Matthew 7:21, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and thy name done wonderful works, and in thy name cast out devils? And then Jesus says, depart from me, you worker of iniquity, I never knew you. You have to understand, there is a religious group out there who claim to be Christians, who are doing charismatic signs and wonders, casting out devils, wonderful works, but they're not saved. They do not have a new heart. They've never been born again. And when the depraved heart does not have the restraint of the Holy Spirit placed upon it, upon salvation, then that depraved heart is capable of anything. I mean, there's preachers out there that men pretending to be preachers. Let me just put it to you that way. Unconverted men pretending to be preachers, maybe even holding the office of a bishop, who have murdered people, who've done terrible things to others. And that bias of trust towards a position of an ecclesiastical figure kind of creates a vacuum in which they know that they can operate without being questioned. How dare you question me? I'm a man of God. And they're not even saved. It's a dreadful evil. Now, having said all that, let me tell you this. Having said all that, this whole idea out there that we need to let our guard down, come together as churches, come together as ministries, come together as denominations, is crazy. Because within that realm of what the world will look at called Christendom, there are these people who are not converted, who are using the church and using a trusted position and an honorable position as a bishop. They're manipulating that and using that and pretending to be something like that so that they can get a following, so that they can get money, and in some cases, so they can take advantage of people physically. I don't think ecumenicism is a good idea for many reasons, and that's one of the reasons that's at the very top. TB Joshua is a charlatan. He always was. And it's not because of his personality, because I've watched some of his sermons. His personality was fine. I didn't think he was an unkind person or anything like that. But it was his doctrine. Doctrine matters, folks. Doctrine matters. Big time. You have to know that. He was a bad guy because of his doctrine. His moral issues did not cause him to go into bad doctrine. His bad doctrine caused him to have moral issues. So if a man is like this, anything goes. And it's sad to see it. Subscribe to this channel if you're new. Go watch Third Adam. It'll help you see the difference between all these crazy denominations out there. Third Adam 1, 2, 3, 3X, and 4. It'll be a blessing to you, and I know it will. God bless you, friend. Have a good day. Thank you for watching this video.
Hey guys, Spencer here. I don't know if you've noticed, but recently I got a new chair, and it's pretty awesome because I've gone through a ton of junky chairs in my YouTube career, but I finally found one that I like. The folks over at Ewin Racing sent me this one and asked me to evaluate it, and turns out I love it. It's got magnetic pads on there, so I don't have to wrestle with straps or anything like that. It's also got some good lumbar support as well. which for me, that's very important. And not only that, it actually looks pretty cool as well. So I've enjoyed it. The construction is really quality stuff. The wheels are, I mean, top notch. This thing is actually a cut above the average chair that you would get at some big box department store. And so if you're in the market for a good chair, go ahead and get one of these. I highly recommend them. We use promo code Spencer to get 20% off. ewinracing.com. I know you'll enjoy this chair. God bless you, friend, and you'll have a good day.
Well, if you're like me, you will notice that there's something dreadfully wrong with modern worship music. It's worldly, it's exalting men, and there's a lot of weird New Age stuff all in it. I mean, it's spooky. It's weird. I don't want anything to do with it. And years ago, we saw this coming, and we wrote a book, Calling Evil Good, The Live Christian Rock and Roll, available now on Amazon. You can get your link in the description below. They will print it and send it to your house. In this book, we discuss all the things that we saw coming a long time ago. We talk about how Amy Grant was a part of all this. And we even go back into the history of it with Larry Norman, who really was like the first guy who ever paved the way for this apostasy to enter the local church. And the funny thing is that the names constantly change, but the principles behind all this stay the same. This book has gone #1 on Amazon in the contemporary Christian music section at least 7 times already, and people are just buying this book, having their eyes open to these really huge problems in this gospel music industry. It's a serious issue. We talk about people who claim to be Christians who are now secular musicians like Beyonce Knowles, and other people out there who are as worldly as they can be, but they claim to be Christian, people like Hulk Hogan and Britney Spears, believe it or not. And so we can show you, we can connect a lot of the dots that have brought us to the point where we are today in this book, Calling Evil Good, The Live Christian Rock and Roll. I promise you, you'll love this book. You need to get a copy of it today. They'll send it right to your house. It'll be easy as it can be. So go ahead and check it out today, and may God bless you as you watch the rest of this video. Calling Evil Good, The Live Christian Rock and Roll by Spencer Smith. Get it today. It'll be a great blessing.